when it comes down to Codm, say, Brody, we're finally getting into it, man. Summit hardpoint. Is this the one? Is this the truth?
Feels like it could be.
It's
shooting. All right, never mind. We're all good. We're all good. They're throwing util straight towards a hard point. Yep, here we go. Finally into it. Summit hard point is one of those maps that can be super mixy, especially in the middle of the map. And this is a big one for both of these teams. Again, something that we haven't really focused on here before we even really get into this is the fact that, yeah, all right, both of these teams, they're already qualified for Katowice. No matter what happens, these guys will be representing North America. But you want to win this, not just for prize pool, but for it to get as high a seed as possible. Winning a match like this could be the difference between facing Wolves and facing Seoul in your first match of the tournament. And trust me, you don't want to be facing Wolves.
That's facts. That's absolute facts. I thought you were going to be ready to throw, like, exclusive immediately under the bus, but we're big AU fans as far as this commentary team is concerned. We'll be unbiased for now. As far as opening engagements are concerned, still about early as you could possibly ask for it to be as even as all get out. We're mostly expecting for things to start swaying the way of whatever team can start sinking their teeth in for the P2 to P3 rotation. Right now it is UMD in a really good position to do so, but TLE off of the previous hill, they got a lot of good posture upstairs around PCs to set up for FP2.
Yeah, UMD right now just trying to hold the side of the map that will be for that P2 rotation. You can see TLE off the spawn, making sure they do try and fit the map if they can towards the hard point. Dakota and Shisui going to find 3 kills between them. Dakota now just trying to keep an eye on these players making their way down, and we'll get a kill with the HSO. UMD currently in control, but TLE trying to make their way down from up top. Last player in towards the time. Dakota back towards the HSO. Actually loses that gunfight versus S-Thug, and Saucy also in the mix. TLE being a proper nuisance here for the back 30 seconds of time. That's something that UMD are going to be frustrated with losing. They are, however, potentially going to settle for those P2 or P3 rotations. I say that, though, proper. Pildora, he goes down. Now it's TLE in control.
Pildora at least bought enough time for UMD to still enact these very close ski lift spawns. That means that they can the back. Dakota will take down Malzine to open up those P3 spawns, and they'll get it. UMD in towards the back. S-Thug though, HSO. You remember back with the R9O meta? I know it's not that long ago, but it's nice to see S-Thug back with the shotgun in his hand. That's where he does his nasty work. But UMD, they got the operators in tow, trying to make P3 a money hill.
It's not the best Tempest though, is it? There momentarily doesn't actually get all that much. Towards the front of the hardpoint, Malzin's War Machine also amounts to nothing. There goes Saucy with a DM as well. Indra gonna burn through 3 with his DM, and that's the most effective op that we've seen so far. And TLE, well, their ops might have flopped, but now UMD can get some ops out for themselves. 3 now overextending in towards the middle of the map. Shisui just focusing on the fact that his teammates have locked those spawns down. And he's being a proper nuisance right now. On the hunt for more kills. Shisui, another kill to his name. Now close to a hunter killer drone. He is completely trying to flip the map in their favor. 20 seconds of time. You might well end up giving that up to TLE, and that is exactly what's going to happen. Indra's going for one last little hit and actually finds a couple of kills in towards the scrap time, but still, flipping the spawns out, not a terrible idea, even if you do give up 15 seconds.
Yeah, that 15 seconds could be worth it if you can lock down P4. S-Thug trying to be the tip of the spear. Dakota, one shot, gonna back up and just play the forklift. But there's no trade, not for the immediate 2. Here comes TLE, they're marching all the way through. Got Indra with the Predator Missile, he's just gonna lurk it in towards Sky. Does it buy enough time? It doesn't even find any kills, but there comes the teammates UMD, locking things down, playing the long game.
Now UMD wanting to hold the back line here. TLE trying to push from the front of this hard point. Shisui, good for the first kill on towards Mon. Plays towards the front though, managed to break in towards the time. So now Shisui's kind of having to change his position towards being more of a nuisance around the back line. He's going to get shut down. Has opened some space through the front of the hard point though. Pildora will be only find one. Trades mostly going in favor of TLE. Mon now backing up the hill with the equals here. UMD allowed to push in through the top side, and Mon's equals. You're just looking for the back 15 seconds off of it. You run out the equal bullets. You've got the rest of your teammates here though. Mon back towards the time to try and hold on. A rattle cut out, and Mon looking for more. He's going to find 3 towards the time, and that's going to be TLE in for the scrap time. They are ahead just about at this point, but it is a tentative advantage.
Very tentative. Been able to see this lead be diminished, flipped This is nothing, but TLE still able to maintain it. Back towards the center of the map we go again. Contested time going to be good for TLE. Able to finally enact their numbers. Split spawns starting to occur for UMD, who are lacking operators for the inevitable swing that comes through. Malzine thought it was going to be now. He locks the triggers, and that means that Malzine's going to be down his operator. No war machine for this rotation. UMD able to find the kills and can watch all these doorways. They're trying to soak up the back 30 seconds, but every single read goes wrong. UMD still find the kills, but TLE still holds strong.
Now TLE, that's a wave of yellow in the feed for TLE. Start to focus on rotation here with 15 seconds left. Yet another wave of yellow kills in the feed. One last flanking play coming through from Dakota, though. That might disrupt things ever so slightly. Unravel going to invest the Tempest. Amounts to nothing. UMD trying to push in for the scrap time, but ultimately it does not happen. Look at utility now. UMD have 4 operators ready to go on towards the next hard point, but TLE are once again winning the engagements. Investment coming out from the claw. It doesn't go anywhere. Malzin gonna follow up with a couple of kills towards the time. Pueda's trying to be annoying. It doesn't happen, and now UMD gonna have to start to invest in towards this time.
Sauce has got the death machine out. That's in response. Pildora's got the war machine. It's a battle of machines, and Puedas is going to be able to lock down 2 off the rotation. Mon off the equalizer. Trying to find more here in bottom blue. So got players locked inside of the hardpoint. He's just reacting off of his teammates' comms, but UMD once again got the numbers, but TLE still hold the lead. Got more operators left to be pulled for UMD. Do they decide to call them in now? At least the equalizer locked down top PCs, but they need to hold their heavy hitters for the P3 rotation.
Yeah, that's the key thing. You don't want to over-invest in towards this time. You want to hold some of that for what is inarguably the most important hill on this map, unless you're Wolves, in which case it would be the hill that you're on right now. Looking over towards the time, though. UMD going to open things up with the opening wave of gunfights. Keep an eye on players like Malsheen and S-Thug to try and flip these spawns out in their favor. S-Thug flat, not going to happen. Now maybe perhaps Malsheen and Mon can do something. The former's going to find one. Mon taken out of the play. Here comes the double investment from UND, and it is every single TLO player has been dealt with. They continue to send players in behind enemy lines, trying to make these flanking routes happen, but it doesn't look like it's working so far.
Routes need to be timed with the players up towards the front, but the players up towards the front are just getting absolutely chewed by Dakota's claw. Here's the heavy hitters that we were talking about. Death Machine there towards the end now for Indra. War Machine out from Malzine trying to work their way forward. No trophy systems though. It was dealt with. Nobody has a trophy system in towards the back, but 3 players from UND anchoring the spawns in towards the back. TLE have no more operators to be able to find the spawns. They think that it's coming from the front. Boy, have they read it wrong, but it was late. Unravel still locks down the back too, and TLE flips the lead once again.
Yeah, this time it's TLE who are going to flip the spawns in their favor as we move over towards the next time. On the Undream, can they travel across the map? Early investment coming up from Unravel here to try and stop some of the rotating players. Not going to happen. Hill's now going to pop. TLE just 6 points down. They should be able to regain the lead off the back of this one. Saucy looking for some traditional gunfights. That's not going to happen. He's going to get shut down. And now UMD, this is going to force Malzin to reposition here in towards the garage. You've got helper players coming off the spawn. You cannot let Undream block the spawns, though. That's the last thing you want to have happen. Puedas in towards the time. He's only going to find one. Trades in favor, but there is that spawn flip coming through for Undream. Immediate investment of the war machine from Pildora for a couple of kills. There's number 4 for Pildora. And Undream off the back of that spawn flip and the war machine. They're in for the time.
But they're still surrounded. TLE still have them surrounded. S-Thug's able to find 2 there with the HSL. Pildora, Dakota trying to mitigate the damage being found, but it's numbers for TLE that are able to swarm around the site, able to get themselves in towards the hard point. But there's still 2 rogue players for UMD. They spawned towards the back. TLE were not expecting that. So now they get the flip once again. UMD in towards the time, but it's just 3 seconds. And now it's just 5 that separate these 2 teams. Back to P1 we go again. UMD trying to hold on from these splits. They have at least some operators that they could be pulling in, but it's the death machine to get ripped early for TLE that's just keeping them at bay.
Yeah, this is good. S5 up top. S5 for 5, clearing the entirety of the squad. He will get traded out, but he buys some spaces of time for TLE when they are this close to the 250 point mark. That is gold dust. TLE now looking for the remainder of the time. Undream Mythic starting to panic here in this game. going to find their way through. Pedora, the only one to find any value whatsoever. Now Esfug back to his usual haunts up top. Won't be able to find any kills this time around. Enables Mythic Dream to get back in towards the time. Mon maybe equalizes, try and close this one out. Unravel also with the Tempest, and both are finding value. There was one up on the other side. It doesn't amount to much, and TLE proper, they've got so much time off the back of this hill, and Mon is now trading through absolutely everyone. This might well be the dagger here in this game.
Every airplane thrown up into the sky, trying to find more information towards the top side of the window. The equalizer was used phenomenally. 10 points are all the TLE required to call game number 1. You looked at the rotation, and UMD are from the outside looking in. Death Machine Paul. Dakota has the claw as well. Every single operator that UMD have at their disposal being utilized just for the break, but TLE just need 3.
Just need a few more seconds. That should be it. Nobody touching from Unmythic Dream, and TLE gets so much time off of P1.
It's the way that they won that search and destroy was not by macro, by any stretch of the imagination. It was square peg through round hole. They knew that they were just better by the opposition that they were going up against. It's not going to work here versus UMD.
All right, we'll see what the TLE have gotten things sorted out. This would be big if they could do it. To start this one, immediate push in towards B. Nobody watching the cup. Wader's going to get cut down. Trades going down in a 3 versus 2 now. 3 versus 3, excuse me, down to 2 versus 2. Malzin to take Injure out. That's 2 for him. And all of a sudden, now it's Shisui isolated inside the B site. And Saucy, he is very quick to take the map control.
Sure is. Shisu, Ahoden, 1v2 versus 2 snipers for TLE. Oh, needs the first one cleanly. Missed sniper shot. Shisu not going to push it for the advantage that he had and say he's just going to yeet himself out of the window, and Saucy will take him down with the machine pistol, but gave himself a real good shake at that. Not a whole lot to utterly digest, but UMD just completely got milli-whopped. Minus injured, just being able to find the trades.
Just that little reposition from Saucy. You never were going to expect someone to be that aggressive, especially in a 2 versus 1. There's no reason to expect those 2 players to not be playing together. So, first round on the board for TLE. This time they've heavy stacked in towards B. Unmythic Dream are playing significantly less aggressive in round number 2. Just playing for some over-aggression from TLE. It doesn't look like it's happening just yet.
No. Quran Metropolis things. Maybe patient until about 45 seconds. Then we're going to bum rush the site. Got Trophy Systems watching all of the major points of ingress. One on the backside of the B-bomb site. The cuts leading in towards the A staircase and through mid. So any late utilities in the back pocket for UMD needs to be very accurate. Got a 4-player stack over towards this A lane. Timing potentially for Saucy.
Saucy now backing up. Also have help from Mon through the mid-cart. This is a player that Unmythic Dream needs to kind of remove if they want to move forward, because if not, there'll be a constant threat of a flank. So it's a big gunfight. There it is, Dakota with the first kill. Saucy still towards the back of the site, though. Could still blow this play wide open. We'll find one. Reposition for the second. Looking for the snipe. Indra spotted him. Saucy dead to rights. He's stuck between many rocks and many hard places, and will in the end get crushed. It is that kill, I think, on the player. It was Mon inside the cart. That opens things up massively for TLE.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Defend the objective.
It's just waiting for that patient timing. Able to get the info on the player to the backside of the site, and you just rush back in towards cuts. Not afford to be so reckless if you are TLE. Let's see if their response is here. Not too far away from the north. Oh, that nade just goes right over Mon's head.
Oh,
Perez didn't get the information, but he was still prepared for the gunfight. A rare miss. All-town players very much so still alive. Perez going to get hit with a return nade, thinking that someone's going to be flanking his B side, but not going to be the case. Nade also coming up short for Unravel's feet, so information gained. Not plenty between these 10, that's for sure.
Well, the util thrown, I think they have some kind of awareness as to where Unravel is.
Oh my.
That snipe, oh my god, Malzin will go away by the skin of his teeth. TLE taking this. Unmythic Dream haven't made any real progress up the map just yet. Keep an eye on play number 2 as well. Mon's getting hyper-aggressive here. They've got no reason to expect this, but you need better shots than that. The smoke now going to go down. He's going to play this as if it's going to be some kind of exit. And And they have no idea that he is still sitting in that position. Mon's going to reveal himself. Mystery Man, reveal yourself. He's going to pick up a kill. At the same time, Unravel also finds one. It is a masterful bait from Mon. It works out perfectly.
Oh, and S-Dog, he's got the read. Here's, he sees the second as well. Repositions to the dumpster. They're going to be double stacked together. If he walks away with a second kill here, it would be absolutely egregious. Nade in towards the back. They think it's going to be a pinch, but they're just trapped. Fish in a barrel. Can Shisu find the opening? Indra able to find the kill on the S-Dog, but Moon cleans up the back too. And it is just as standard as you could possibly ask for. For TLE, I mean, the nade goes right over top of Mon's head. If he gets hit with that, the push comes through inside of a Zig. Because it doesn't, no information outside of where the nades were thrown from. UMD didn't get a single lick of damage to execute on.
Yeah, Mon, he just won that round for sure by not just playing his life, but by getting map control, getting the kill as well, more pertinently. Huge. Now Saucy trying to regain control of the A site. Nobody here just yet, and he is somehow able to waltz straight towards the site. You take a 1-for-1 trade though. Might not have numbers in the grand scheme of things though, because another teammate did go down. S-Thug, did they see him? Oh, the Semtex actually stuck him out of the round. He goes. And now just down to Unravel. Not a chance, mate. Unmythic Dream, a non-defended site, totally open, and it will go their way.
Okay. So, go back to a handful of those rounds on Coastal. What we got versus Rejects, and it's the aggression, just being able to play for the trades, being able to utilize their numbers. You do have that luxury for Kurahana Metropolis if you do have the hard read, which TLE thought that they did. They're leaving one player by the lonesome. It's Saucy. He's been the A defender. Reinforcements need to be here because this hit's coming through rapidly.
Dude. You've lost the opening bloods once again. Now Poetis has the information that somebody's made it pass towards the right. Dakota's going to be ready for this one. Util over the top. Nice nade from Mon. Gives him the opportunity. Poetis missed the opening snipe and gets taken down by Unravel. How quickly things have fallen apart here for UMD. TLE now with site control once again.
Pancake down. Someone's going to have to make a play. Who was it? Of course, it's going to have to be Shisu. He's got an SMG, though, and he knows that he loses that gunfight if he just wildly chows it. But Mon's thinking that maybe it could be a hit over towards speed. The long con play. He's going to have to trust that Malzine's going to be playing this 1-for-1 cross. He's got the sniper. It's going to be versus Indra versus XM4. Oh, it's just so tense. Sub 50 now, Brody.
The enemy has the bomb.
TLE have actually given up the bomb site here. They've got no choice, of course, being in a 2 versus 3, but to play separately. Bomb's now going to go down. Huge 1v1 in this round. Shisui is looking in that correct direction. Oh, he looks away at the wrong time, and Malzin's going to whip his head off. And now they're down to a 2 versus 2. 40 seconds on the clock here. TLE approaching this one from 2 different angles. Got the snapper of Malzin. Mon, aka Zyrax, on the other side. And does UMD clock this slide? Pildora might have heard it. Definitely heard that one. They know Malzin is making so much noise, perhaps just to try and cover things up for Mon on the other side, but UMD have backed themselves into the perfect corner. Malzin is here. Has to play perfect snipes. Pildora fires some warning shots off. Little flanking play from Indra. He will pick up both players. Again, perfect play from UMD there. They get the information. They back up together. And they are not letting TLE take that one.
And it's just that sole defender, isn't it? Over towards that one bomb site. The moment that those nades landing towards the back, get the HP advantage. They're all sliding in towards these power positions that need to be held by TLE. And they still think it's going to be that hard hit over towards B. The trophy system reveals all. Late nade over towards the mid staircase comes through out from Saucy, who's not putting on the backs on the bomb side this time around, Brody. He's actually through elbow. This timing might be perfect to take down Pildora, but I think they just see each other's nameplates. They give it up for now. A lot of early utility reveals that it's just going to be a very static play until one of these snipers finds first blood, potentially. Now just under 90 seconds.
So that's just the nature of Kurahana, folks. You're going to have to wait just a little bit of time before any action can actually take place. TLE might want to force it. Previously, it was Mon moving down long. This time, it's Saucy. Indra is in a position where he could catch Saucy off guard. Yeah, Saucy's not got a Scooby. What's happening to him? Indra shoots him in the back. And all of a sudden now TLE man disadvantage, but they do have the advantage of being able to pre-aim here for this opening fight. S-Thug will take Dakota out of the play. Puedes with the trade. Still, TLE do not have the numbers, but what they do have proper is they've got that bomb.
And Indra's been waving this the entire time. I haven't seen anybody push through over by this lane. Everybody's on the quick wrap out. The bomb, though, is going to be left over by B. It's going to take way too much time. Way too much time to make this play happen. The desperation for Pildora to be Hercules in this moment, but we're just down to 20 seconds, and the majority of his numbers are now just on the pinch.
Oh, well, that's fortunate for them, isn't it? Unravel gets snapped off the play. S-Thug now looking to trade things out. Wide shoulder. It's not going to happen. On the other side, you lose Mon. And just like that, I mean, Unmythic Dream, it looked shaky. They took a really long time to get that going proper, but it does work.
I don't know how it did. They never had numbers, but they poke up for information. Pildora just strikes over by the staircase. Puedes 9.5. Indra just behind him at 8. It's a 2-round lead here for UMD, who are now up out towards the defense. TLE, they're opening offense. That stun ends up connecting. That's going to keep them honest, but they do not waver.
UMD holding on sight. Oh, Pildora just snaps through 2. Are you kidding me? Unmythic Dream now off the back of that have full sight control. TLE, you are stuck down long. Pildora looking to snap another one. It's not going to happen. Saucy's going to take him out of the play now. Still though, numbers for Unmythic Dream. TLE still look like they want to try and take this A site.
Saucy thinking maybe we could catch timing if somebody pushes over by elbow. S-Thug's playing for that. Not sitting here with an HSO. He does have an SMG to play with, but the one ace up your sleeve for TLE in this final moment is that you do have bomb. Here comes Dakota, trying to play for at least towards the trade. He will get traded, but Puedes is immediately there to stop any sort of push from ever happening. UMD just 2 rounds away from tying up the series and guaranteeing a Combine and map number 4. TLE are just struggling to be able to find any sort of answer to Puedes and Pildora.
Yeah, Pildora, that was huge in that round. Very often, searching as prowess does just come down to sniper presence, and Unmythic Dream, they have that in spades right now. Mon will trade things out though. Puedes down long once again. Constant nuisance. He'll bring this down to a 4 versus 3. Now it's all down on Indra. Has too many places to look though. Saucy's going to take him out for free, and now you're in such an awkward position if you're Unmythic Dream. Both last players here totally separated out from the other.
I'm going down for sure. Saucy wasn't scoped in, but had the luxury of being able to get that challenge for Dakota. Puedes 1v4. He's up to 12. Can he make it 16?
Anyone could do it, I believe, in Puedes. Has the ultimate weapon to do it. Spotted out by Malshin, and now I think it should be over. There's no reason why they don't just triple challenge. Puedes is getting some good looks at some freebies, but they won't overchow. And that's the key thing here with 15 seconds left. They're not going to go too crazy. They're not going to run full sprint at him, and, well, Saucy will just hold the angle to close out the round. So, TLE, poke it and prod in. They get another round on the board.
Saw off of their numbers, and they're going to be playing the double sniper instead of watching 2 different angles. Play them for the trade. Why not? Works out ever so wonderfully for TLE, who bring this back within 2. They're going to try this mid-execute maybe. This is all just to deny the nades. The majority of trophies for UMD surrounded by that B bomb site. And unbeknownst to them, that's the one that TLE are trying to set themselves up for. They're getting a lot of good posture up through the middle window hop-up. And S-Thug's the one with the bomb. That could be what they're playing for. And Pildora's ready for it. If he stays scoped in for this timing, it could prove to be quite fruitful. You can see the anxiousness that is going to be the next 90 seconds as we wait to see what lane will be executed upon.
TLE have actually garnered a lot of mid-map presence here. Unmythic Dream, I don't know if they're the roster that's tetchy enough to actually try and regain it. Saucy spotted out a problem. Eldora back towards the site to try and hold that angle. It's a big play to take off the board if you're Undream. Saucy has been paramount. He's been pivotal to the first blood for TLE, and at the moment, Saucy is missing every single shot. That is not good. And at the very least, though, they are waving a lot of flag and making a lot of attention over by B. Are they ready to cash that check, though? No. Dakota down for the count. There goes Indra as well. It's all falling apart for Undream. TLE have got all the kills necessary. They have side control.
How many times was Indra willing to flirt with death? Finally finds him. 2v5 for the retake. Most are going to be through the backside of the defender spawn, and you got a handful of players that are going to be watching this body stack. Before you could even think about getting that headshot on the backside of the dumpster, leaves Shisu in a 1v5 situation. TLE, they saw what UMD were really finding a lot of success with, and that is via their aggression. Turn things back in their favor. Recognize it is Kurahana Metropolis. 2-minute S&D rounds. Play for that first blood. Play for the denial of any sort of utility. And then see what the map has to offer. They've riffed 2 straight.
All right. TLE. Now looking to once again take mid-map presence. This is what benefited them before. Generally speaking, you do have snipers in the middle of the map watching this. A bit of interaction there. I believe it was Dakota that did see. Regardless, Pildora gets taken out of the play, and now TLE can pounce on this one. You've got to be careful. S-Thug has been tipped the spear too many times with the bomb. Will not give himself away for free this time, but garners a little bit of information that somebody's in the mid-cut. You now know that it's probably going to be weaker towards the site. Saucy looking for the kill. You take Indra down. You've got B-site control. And so all of this predicated on one man. TLE still not decided.
Dakota picked up Pildora's sniper rifle. And you're forced to give up one, if not the other, and the other is to give up the middle of the map. Saucy might find this timing to jump up through the window. He doesn't know what's waiting for him on the opposite side, so he's going to start joining his teammate. Mon's got a lot of space through Zig. 3 players now for UMD, stacking over towards B. And they'd be guessing a little bit more correctly. That's where the numbers are located at. TLE about to execute on B.
Wait a week going in this fight. Unravel and S-Thug have already found some value. That's the B-site control. Do they know that Shisui is so close? Could he blow this up? Doesn't get away cleanly for the first kill. Shots towards the second. Good enough. Still alive for the third. To a machine pistol. Now relying on Puedes for the 1 versus 3. To the snipe. It does not happen. TLE 3 rounds in a row. They are slowly teetering their way back into this search.
Oh man, they're just absolutely playing UMD like a fiddle. The patience game absolutely panning out for them. Just waiting for the overchow to come through. Pildora gives them a very easy first blood. And that plays right in towards their hands. Nades right over the top. Ceremonious. That is so much damage just denied by the trophy system. Just barely within reach to deny. TLE though, they're posturing themselves up over towards the A lane push, and for some reason Puedes thought that he could try to make things happen the hard way. Gives away a very easy kill, but it is traded 4v4.
TLE look focused now. That's the difference in the gameplay we've seen over the last 3 rounds. That's sent out from Pildora. It's courageous, but it won't connect to anything. They just don't know where to look. TLE, they have no information whatsoever. Maybe TLE can make a bit of noise from the middle of the map. That would give Pildora an idea. Of course, even seeing somebody cross would be an even better freebie. And TLE just going to play the patience game. You've got a little bit of time on the board here. Just looking for the first blood. Pildora, can he find anything for free? Even now, refuses to move. They haven't checked this corner yet. Will they do so eventually? I mean, you've got to move. You've got 40 seconds left. It's time to go to one of these sites.
That execute time, which way is it coming? They think it's over towards A, late over towards B. Unravel USS9. He might hop through this window. Not great for Pildora. 2v3 now, and it's all gone completely wrong for UMD. They thought they had the read. They thought they had the angles being covered, but boy, did they get crossed up. The mental ankles being absolutely put on skates. TLE are about to bank 4 rounds in a row.
Shisui can do the impossible. Headshot off the first 20 seconds. Not a lot of time to perform a miracle. Shisui trying to turn water into wine towards the site. Too many corners to check, and he is donezo. Fourth round on the board here in a row for TLE. They look so much more decisive. And UMD, we talked about the prowess of the snipers. It hasn't exactly dissipated in this game proper, but it certainly feels dampened over the last couple of rounds.
Really sure it does feel that way, Brody. TLE, their decisiveness comes through with lack of hesitation and just not over-challenging. Aggression can only work for so long when TLE are just playing for these crosses. UMD again, thinking that they can get staging here towards the front side of the staircase. Mon, oh, he's not going to look left, is he? Yeah, no, most certainly wouldn't. Why would you ever expect Shisu to be able to be in such a powerful position like that? Pildora answers back with the next two. It's numbers here for UMD, finally.
They just win the trades. Just straight up. Just stacking on a site. That's the right thing to do in that situation to make sure that you force overtime, because splitting yourselves across the map hasn't worked. TLE haven't really done that much in the way of A pushes for the last 3 rounds at least, so it's been an easy call to make that from UMD. All right. Overtime we go. TLE have been here before. They felt decisive. They called it 8-6 versus XPE. Was there on the defense to kick things off, though, so they are not the ones that need to make the first move.
Ooh, Puedes thinking that he can go for that unconventional slide jump chow that Ton and I were losing our marbles for earlier today. Instead, he gives away a very simple first blood. You're in this opening round of overtime. For UMD up towards their offense, feels like forever ago, but they were very comfortable being overly aggressive. You can see for Shisu, postured up in the bottom side of the window, waiting for any one of his teammates to be able to find certain foreground to then move further forward, but he's kind of trapped now until one of his teammates find anything across one of these 2 lanes.
It is just so difficult, isn't it, when you don't have the numbers? UMD have been in a position like this before. Just trying to find a way to split through the middle of the map. And might have just found it. Pildora walks straight through the cut. S-Thug is watching this one, though. He also has to watch the top side, so it's all about timing. Can Pildora catch any good one? Well, Mythic Dream, excuse me, haven't fully made the decision to commit in towards B just yet. It looks like that's where they're angling. 25 seconds. You have to go. You cannot sit here and do nothing. Here's a slide out. S-Thug ready for it. Take a 1-for-1. Unravel for the trades. You know where the pressure is coming from, and now you can collapse from a multitude of angles. It's all down to one. Pildora is done. TLE continue their reign of terror.
Strike first here as far as the overtime is concerned. It's just the one skip of the beat there to cement the 5 rounds in a row for a map win, but now they go over towards offense. The half that got them here, Brody. Can this be the final nail in the coffin to go up 2-0 in the series? They're back towards their old ways. They're setting up for maybe for Shisui to make that mid-stage push. Not going to take it this time around, but TLE just hanging on by towards the offensive spawn, seeing if anybody gets wildly or aggressive. Saucy very much so going to be checking this corner. He's actually going to push it all the way through now.
Yeah, they've been so much more confident, Saucy especially. This is what I wanted to see from him on the offense. Getting confident, getting aggressive with that sniper rifle for the first bloods. I think that's what TLE want to do. Perhaps the jump up here. Pildora might have heard that collab from Zyrax. He will definitely have heard that one for sure. Pildora knows. Actually, he's going to look away. Oh, noise being made here from Saucy. TLE just cannot get Mythic Dream to give up their positioning no matter what they do. And so they will just wait. Again, 50 seconds, you got time.
Pildora playing a very important cross. That nade actually pushes him back ever so slightly. Oh, it's going to be Mon for the immediate cross to be able to find that engagement. Pildora takes him down with the Type 63. Thought maybe he would be playing the boomstick, but it instead will be an automatic weapon, at least close to being so. Unravel will be there for the trade. It's not enough to be able to push in towards one of these sites, but we're running out of time to make a decision, boys.
Yeah, 24 seconds. Oh, you really want to hit that sniper if you can. TLE trying to find their way through elsewhere. You've lost Unravel. Wrap and play from the middle of the map. Shisu is going to be the guy to do it. Fix up 3. And it's all down to Mauzin now. If he's trying to pull off a spectacular snipe, that's not going to happen. And Shisu with a flank through the middle of the map there. It's a late commitment from TLE, and Shisu makes the best of it.
We go again. First now to 9, if at all possible. UMD get another crack over towards this offense. What do they learn from the previous ones? Is that their over embellishment for that first blood leads to them getting blooded first. So they're going back over towards this A rush. They're gonna be met by Mon. That nade, that stun sets up so wonderfully almost for 3. And UMD simplistically not expecting that, but they just took down 1 in return. Can they find value through elbow?
No, you can't do it through long anymore. That's just not going to happen. The exit on the other side is being watched. Everything on S-Thug at the moment. Just to try and make sure that nobody does get through that cut in towards A. They're actually going to back up and give positioning here. Kind of surprised that Saucy's done that. Might well feel like Paldora is the key to this play. If you can catch a player making a silly flank off guard, that would open up a lot of space for Unmythic Dream. For the moment, though, they are just going to wait. Again, 2-minute S&D rounds, everybody. Welcome to the fun.
Happy to be here, man. Just happy to be here. Don't worry, in about 25 seconds, we will see a bum rush towards one of these 2 sites. Gonna have to have that decision. Shisu has a sniper rifle, and the only player to maybe find any sort of presence would be Pildori. He's the player that pushed all the way through that elbow area that I was talking about. Oh, and Saucy's timing. Oh, this could be so tough. He's just under his scope. Oh, it's infuriating.
Oh, do you not see him?
He didn't.
Bro.
It's just underneath his scope. They still didn't see him.
My God.
Unravel's here.
Unravel's committed to a corner. Yeah, they have no information whatsoever there. Oh. Unravel isn't even looking. He is committing to that corner.
What is happening?
Again, time is still an issue. TLE have chosen the bomb site they wanted to defend on the 50-50. Here we go. Unmythic Dream for the full send. S-Thug just going to pick a corner. Wait for the slide out. Easy 1 versus 1. 1-for-1 trade. Saucy trying to get a kill with the machine pistol. No, gets burned by Indra. Now just down to Maoshin and Unravel. Now just down to the latter, but there is no time. And that's why, folks, we don't use all 2 minutes to play the S&D round.
Bedtime story lessons with Brody.
Just don't do it.
And the objective.
Just don't wait that long. I mean, you want to hold on to like some bit of utility to be able to get some sort of information, because sometimes the trades don't always go your way. 1 offensive round away. Now RTLE from that 2-0 lead. Once again, Malzine finds that first blood. He's the second of the 2 snipers there with Saucy. So we can see it from his perspective. He wants to try to push over towards B. What a stun out from Mon. Zyrax is just straight running them through. When it came down to any sort of B defense, this is surely going to be it.
Yeah, it really does feel like it. Poetis is going to poke and prod, though. Go for the first. Anybody jumps out on towards the top banister, they will go down. Playing well for the aggression right now. I was going to say maybe Malzin on the flanking play. The shots out from Dakota might well pull Malzin into a freebie. 25 seconds, though. You can't wait for a freebie. You have to be the instigator, and it's not going to happen. The timing not good. You know where the last player is. Poetis. Can he do something special? He's already sniped on towards 1. In a second. Flanking play from Malzin, though. Third, right in front of him. The snapper not good enough to the machine pistol for the kill. Now he doesn't know about the flanking play. Immediately hops the bomb. Does Malzin get there in time? Yes, he does. He's got him off the bomb, and he will find the final kill. TLE. A few rounds of overtime deep.
Teaser for what you're going to be in store for this map number 3, Brody. But
red side, let's make sure that we've got launch center control. I think just little things like that, little bits of map control, shifting your kind of weight around the map can make absolute hell for your opposition. I think TLE just get that.
Player number 3 in blue is going to be the one to watch out for me. Once we do get over towards the offensive side, I'll keep that feather in my cap for now, as we're in towards the opening salvo and its control. And you need to have a good opening break off, especially through the early days on a takeoff control. TLE on the defense, have that plus a little bit more. Saucy, all of his flexibility now to the Type 63 single fire, just watching through the middle of the map. You couldn't have asked for a better start.
This is pretty much perfect coming out here. Defensive side holding for the moment. Now looking to try and move forward here. Unmythic Dream going to get a player on towards B. This is what I was talking about, by the way, in terms of shifting your weight. You want to make sure if you're not got any control over A, not got any control over the control tower, just push a player through your launch center to be a nuisance by B. And you're going to see TLE do exactly that. They shift their weight in towards B to hold on the point, and now Undream are going to fill the space in the middle of the map towards A. Now they've got an opportunity here to actually try and capture the point, but Unravel and Mouse-In. Couple of kills to their name. Undream now. First tick in towards A. S-Thug trying to hold the top side here. Flanking play starting to be put together. It's 3 players. It's 4 players all on the flank. And Dakota looking in that direction will find the first kill. Second tick now going to be through. If you're TLE, you got to stop this right about now. Shisu pushed all the way up the map towards the point. Mouse-In not able to do so. S-Thug though will double up. And it doesn't matter because Undream, they've constantly got numbers on the point.
Yeah, they sure do. It's just a weird, easy read once you don't have any scaffolding control. You saw a handful of nameplates at the top side of the windows. It has to be a full flank. So you get the 60 seconds, but just because you capture a whole zone doesn't mean you gain any extra lives. So this one will be TDM'd its way to a TLE round win, but definitely going to be scratching their heads a little bit. I mean, you feel like that you should have been able to retake that relatively easier. If you had any player try to chow out through scaffolding, maybe break up any sort of pressure to flank back through the opposite side. But a round win is a round win at the end of the day. We'll talk more about those segments at the end of this. But I want to talk more about S-Thug going throughout the entirety of this offensive side and defense. I'm waiting for that moment, Brody. He's going to pull out the HSO. You remember back when he was on Try back in 2023, those R9O days, he was a force to be reckoned with in that control room.
Yeah, definitely. That's not a great start from Indra. Definitely shot some bullets with the death machine, so won't get the charge back for it. On the other side, Unravel is having a lot more luck with his Tempest. Mausen's going to steal that kill on towards Shisui away. Now, Unravel starting to move up the map here, wants to try and clear some space. Unfortunately for Unravel, though, he's lost the rest of his team. Gonna whiff that final shot, and that is a full feed here. Dakota gonna find 3, and now things starting to get a little bit worrisome for TLE. Puedas pushing up the map. Undream here, they are getting hyper aggressive in this control. You can't exactly enact a spawn trap as easily anymore, but Puedas, the way he's playing, you wouldn't think so. Puedas for more will finally be denied the kills, but look at the life differential now. Puedas has dug a heavy hole for TLE to try and climb out of.
Oh, it's the spawn trap of an absolute nightmare, and TLE just cannot find a way out. 30 seconds might just be their refuge just to finally get out of this cataclysmic spawn trap that they are being enacted. And Claw here towards the end for Dakota just to keep them at a certain bullet's reach, but TLE trying to fight their way out of the spawn. It's just too late, man. No segments. They're about to be out of respawns as well. Any sort of operators might as well be salvaged going in towards the next round. But a statement certainly has been made here. Shisui, Puedes, they get through the scaffolding. They get postured up through the middle of the fountain. And they're putting them on absolute skates here all the way at the end. 16 extra lives in towards the bank.
Ready up.
It feels like our expectations are being thrown out the window right now. It feels like, hey, we go back to that search and destroy, and on Mythic, we're like, hey, this is the map we're going to win. We're going to type the series, and then the control probably going to go TLE's way. Total flip of expectations right now. TLE to start this one. Mountain going to bring that war machine out to try and split players in towards launch center. So step number 1 of that plan has been done. You need to fill up with some actual kills though, and well, that is happening. It's a triple investment of the operators coming out from TLE. That is a perfect execution of operator utility in towards the start of this round, and now they're following up with phase 2 of the plan. It's time to drill through them.
Yep, absolutely the case. Saucy DM up top inside the glass. He's just trying to redecorate. He's not really finding much of anything. Kill feed still there for TLE, and it is just absolute punishment. 10 life lead now for TLE. Really just trying to make that as dominant as humanly possible. It's really their only hope to maybe seeing the light of the end of this tunnel, but never want to count UMD out. Let's forgot how quickly they were able to get that A zone back in their previous offense, but the difference between then and now, they don't have the posture comparatively. Unravel has the Tempest, sees Indra up top. He runs out of Death Machine, or does he? He's still hanging up in the window, and that's a big moment for UMD to maybe try to pounce on, but they just don't have the lives to play with.
Yeah, at this point for UMD, you're just trying to salvage something out of this round. Like, an 8 versus 19 isn't impossible. You certainly don't want to invest in towards this round, though. Just try and get any sort of ticks you possibly can. Flanking play from Shisui will find 3. And now all of a sudden here, full VT here for UMD. That might well be a full A capture if they stack the point. They're choosing not to, actually. They're choosing to kind of almost immediately here move on towards the point. Nades and utility over the top. UMD, though, traded out now. 12 versus 6. You're going to find 1 second on the clock. They're going to get back on towards A. Looking towards that slug. We'll find a kill on towards Pildora, so Red's control will be denied. Back towards the point we go, and Mausin's going to double up. That's going to be the tick over. No more time. I don't know if they got that second tick through, but still, last little hurrah from UMD. That's what we were talking about. You're in a terrible position. Just get something.
Yeah, 4, maybe 5 segments is going to be the tally for Unmythic Dream to guarantee that round 5 defense. TLE can close things out here if they just outright win the offense, of course, but love this call from Pildora. Immediately got the War Machine. You know that Malzine doesn't have theirs off of what happened towards the tail end of the previous round. Finally gets theirs online, but it's just damaged. Not a whole lot of space. These opening breakoffs for TLE have been great on the defensive side. Their last offensive incursion, not as good as this one. Look at the space through control, Brody. They can get themselves over towards A, but they have to be okay with giving up scaffolding and the top side of window. UMD were quite content with it, and that's the reason why they got A in their previous offense.
Now, right now, TLE, I'm on towards the point. Nice double. Perfect read on the flanking play coming through as well. Puedes is one of those players, though. You've got to be careful not to die to him, and it doesn't matter. Puedes only actually finds 1 for that Tempest. You're perfectly happy. He gets a posthumous kill off the back of it. Holocks a player towards place towards the point, but TLE still getting progression regardless. Now you're having to earn map control once again, and you're down to just 1 operator in the back pocket. Flanking play. Does it work out towards the point? Shisui looking for kills. Not going to find more than 1. Softens things up so that another player can come out on the flank and pick up a second kill. Puedes is that guy. Is now looking to reduce control of the point while also picking up some frags. UMD in good control here. Unravel. Going to invest the Tempest to try and garner mid-map presence, as is Mon coming out here. This is a triple investment from TLE. They are fully sending for this one. They know how much getting control of this point can matter. They want a cool game right here, proper.
And might be able to do so. 7 life advantage. Mon's got the equalizer out. Death Machine also in tow here for Saucy. Where are they located at? He's got a bullet hose with their name on it. 14 plays up against 9. It might not even come down to zone control because there's still 90 seconds to play some TDM.
That's the key thing here. Unmythic Dream are going to try and grind down as much as clock as possible to get cycled back into their ops. I just don't know if it's going to matter at this point. TLE, they have the operators. They're starred with 3. Now down to the last couple of players. It's all down to Injure, and the Death Machine is brilliant. It's one of the most powerful operators in the game, but is it good enough to drag you through a 1 versus 10? Well, not when there's this much time on the clock. TLE could simply wait if they wanted to. Instead, they're just going to approach the point from every single angle possible. And Indra overwhelmed TLE into the grand finals.